Contestant number 4, Christopher Gary Glenn. He taught me how to love. He taught me how to live. Christopher Gary Glenn.
Dad, the stupid ball keeps going between my legs. Make it stop already. Okay, so I'm going to spread my legs apart like this. I've got to squat down. I've got to put my glove on the ground. And I've got to keep my head up. Okay, and I've got to quit drawing my name in the dirt. Fine. That was me when I was 5 years old. I had a lot more hair up here, a lot less hair right here, and didn't so much have this going on right here. Now, I tried to bring a t-ball glove tonight as a prop. Problem is, it wouldn't even fit over these 2 fingers. Now, I grew up in southern Oklahoma. My dad also taught me how to shoot a shotgun. For some reason, United Airlines wouldn't let me bring it on as a prop either. Go figure. That's normal in Oklahoma. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests and judges, my dad taught me how to live. I may have been born Christopher Gary Glenn, but the Gary Glenn in me is so much more than just name. Sure, he taught me how to play baseball. He taught me how to hunt. But he taught me the essentials in life. Dr. Pepper and cowboy boots. I am who I am today because of my dad. And that's a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you ask. Gary Glenn strived to teach his only son, his only child, the importance of character, integrity. And don't trust anyone who doesn't drive a Ford pickup truck. Some things in life he explains so explicitly. Give 110% in everything you do. Outwork everyone around you. He focused on the importance of a good attitude because, as he explained, it's the only thing in life a person can truly control. You have to understand, my dad was born a 3rd-generation oil field worker. To call him a redneck, that doesn't come close to doing it justice. He was a lot more country than that. When I was just 4 years old, he taught me how to wad up my little fist because an older kid at school was picking on me. Yeah, he was a redneck. But what he was really doing was teaching me to stand up for myself from an early age. Other things in life, he led by example, but he knew what he was doing. He was the consummate husband. I never saw my mom walk in the rain. I never saw her pump her own gas. Now, my beautiful wife is right there, and she'll tell you I probably should have paid a little bit more attention to those qualities. He never looked at another woman. I never heard him make a comment about an attractive waitress, even if my mom wasn't around. He showed me how to be a perfect son. I mean, I'm not perfect, but he was the perfect example. I watched him promise my dying grandfather that he would take care of my grandmother. And take care of her he did. She's the biggest sports fan I know. I don't watch ESPN. I actually work at a sports talk radio station. She knows more than those guys. She never missed a University of Oklahoma football or basketball game because my dad made sure that she was there. But he did it in a special way. She had a stroke 10 years ago, so she uses a walker. He would sit her down in the walker, and he would push her. He'd push her as far as it took. Didn't matter if it was 100 degrees during football season. Didn't matter if there was snow on the ground during basketball season. He would push her. But that's not the only thing that he pushed. He pushed me in life to be the best that I could be at everything that I ever pursued. My dad taught me how to live. And he taught me how to die. That's what I said when I spoke at his funeral a year and a half ago. Today, this very day, August 12th, 2010, he would be 53 years old. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you. In 2007, he was diagnosed with a very rare yet aggressive blood cancer called multiple myeloma. He never did, but he could have said, "Why me? Why me?" As a matter of fact, he said, "Son, why not me? What makes me so special that I can't be afflicted by this gruesome disease? Why not me?" My entire life, that's my dad. That's my hero. I've never seen someone so big, so strong, so brave. I've never looked up to someone so much. The last 2 years of his life, he may not have been big. He may not have been strong. He's never so much been my hero. I've never looked up to him so much. And I've never seen him so brave. He was in excruciating pain, yet he never complained. He knew that he was dying. He had precious days left. But he didn't mope. I watched his body transform from big and burly and powerful. When I was just a little boy, I'd put my hand right here and squeeze my arm, and he would pick me up off the ground. He loved to do that, and I loved to do it because that was my daddy. And I watched it go to frail and to weak. When he was that big, strong guy, he taught me things that fathers teach sons. How to change flat tires, how to properly lift weights. But it was the dignity and the grace that he displayed until he took his last breath that taught me so much more than big muscles. Taught me so much more than how to change a flat tire. My family comes from a very small town in Oklahoma. It feels like the entire community came to visit him in the hospital. And they would always come and tell my mother and I, we're here to cheer Gary up. And we would always chuckle because they'd walk in the room and they would see the shell of the former man that he once was. He didn't have hair. His eyes were sunk back in his head. But as soon as he opened his mouth, as soon as he smiled, he told stories, he told jokes, he made people feel better about themselves. The same things he did when he was healthy. They walked out of the room with a smile on their face, and my mom and I would laugh at each other because he's the one that cheered them up on his deathbed. He would go to the restroom, and then he would have to apologize to the nurses because they had to clean him up. Except, he couldn't literally go to the restroom. Did I forget to tell you? The cancer paralyzed him too. He still never complained. My dad taught me so many things about life, but there's things that he didn't teach me. He didn't teach me what to do when it's Valentine's Day, and I can't console my mother. He didn't teach me what to do when it's August and it's almost football season, and we can't talk about how good those Oklahoma Sooners are going to be, and by golly, I'm here to tell you they're going to be good this year. I don't have kids yet, but when I do, it's going to break my heart that they don't know their grandfather, because he'd be such a good one. He would teach them that Dr. Pepper, that's nature's nectar. The Leonard Skinner song, Freebird, that's not a song, that's an American anthem. People tell me all the time, Kris, you're so much like your dad. Your kids are going to know him through you. And I hope they're right. Because after all, he taught me how to live. But more importantly, he taught me how to die. Mr. Contest Chair.